What's up, everybody? It's Joneser here. I'm subbing in for the great Bill Thompson. He's not able to be here today, so you guys are stuck with me. But to make no mistake, this is going to be every bit a weird, fantastic toy adventure tonight. I've got a great show planned. We've got a great guest. I'm really excited to get this underway. We've already got some people in the comments. Let's check us out here. We got Manic Plastic Toy Shop. Let's do this. The majestic one there is at Joe Fest. I was seeing the pictures on Instagram, man. It looks like you guys are having a great time. Shambulak indeed. And we got Goji here asking about the Joe Fest. Very, very cool. Looks like we have a problem, though. We're in a public service announcement. We are looking for Will. Will is lost. But it looks like Bjorn's going to be doing just fine. He's very well taken care of. We got No Way Farms. Good evening. You know, we got the Thanos Copter here. Hey, everybody. Hey, Thanos Copter. OBS, Ocean Breathes Salty. Hello. So, and we've got the Radical Mama here in the house. So very, very cool. And speaking of radical people, I've got a great guest, and I'm going to bring them in now. So here we go. All right, Adam, how are we doing today?
Hey, how's everyone doing? How you doing, Joneser?
I'm doing great. If I was doing any better, I'd be twins.
Oh, awesome.
That's a
Yeah, it's
terrible
good.
joke. But yeah, like I had a rough couple weeks, but we're not going to get into that at all. We're just going to have some fun, talk about some toys. I'm excited to interview you, sir. And
Sure,
being that we are all caught up with the chat already, I think no time like the present to just kind of dig right in. So I've got a
sure,
series of questions I'm going to rattle off to you. In case you all don't know, Adam is a YouTuber. He has a great channel called Radical Toys. I've been a longtime friend of Adam. Adam has been a longtime supporter of my channel and most everybody else's channel, if I'm being honest. If you've seen Adam's work, it is everywhere on YouTube. Adam has done most people's intros. He's done mine. He is a great giver to the community. He's a fantastic artist and he's got tremendous talents. But you don't want to hear me say what Adam's got. We're going to hear from the great man himself. So I'm going to start here with the first question I've got for you, sir. And this will be, so
sure.
I'm actually even a little prepared here. Um, when did you begin as an artist?
When did I begin as an artist? Well, many, many years ago, back in the 80s. I started when I was 9 years old, and a little bit of a story with it. It's a short story, but it's a story nonetheless. I used to hang with a couple of Filipino kids, and his brother was into martial arts. And we used to go over to his brother's house, and he'd always have like these cool artwork pictures and stuff on his wall and things like that. So that's kind of how I got into it. So one of my very first drawings I ever did was Bruce Lee. I did a sketch
Cool.
of Bruce Lee and I was 9 years old. I wasn't very good at it, but I did it anyways. And from there, I just kept drawing. And that's kind of how I got into artwork.
And so you were saying you were in grade school yet, or just starting high school?
No, I was in junior high,
Junior high,
or sorry, no, elementary school.
elementary.
Yeah. Or
Well,
elementary, junior high, whichever. I think it was
about how many
elementary.
years into that did it take for you to realize that this is something that you were passionate about and that you wanted to pursue further, that you were going to do more of?
Well, I kept going at it. So from the age 9 to 15 is when I really started to realize that, hey, I'm getting pretty good at this. So yeah, I'd say around age 15. So about 6 years.
And so, do you prefer digital tools or pencils or paints or electronic applications? What kind of tools do you use in your craft?
Well, to answer the first part, I like both. And for my craft, I just use your standard. I wish I had some examples, but oh, actually, here we go. Just your standard, HB2 pencils. I prefer just to use that. It's the cheap pencils. It's easy to use. And for inking, I got them right up here. I do a lot of inking, and they're just little, little kind of like I don't know what they call them, but these are just like they're precision drawing pens, but they're basically ink pens.
Okay.
Kind of like the Sharpies. So I use
Okay.
those, and for my digitals, I basically use Photoshop.
Now, if you're using a Sharpie or an ink pen, what happens if you make a mistake?
You're screwed.
Yeah. Is it just like every good carpenter makes his mistake work for him, or is it like every good artist makes the mistake part of the art?
Yeah, same idea. It's if you make a mistake, you're screwed. But I've got so many years of practice at it that it comes natural to me now. So I don't worry. I don't stress out too much about it.
Okay. Well, do you like a quiet workspace or do you like music to play? Is it all right if your kid comes downstairs and taps you on the shoulder while you're working, or are you gonna blow up? Get out of my basement! What are you doing? Like, how do you like to work?
Uh, for the first part, I definitely have to have music, and the reason why is because I draw constantly for hours on ends, and I have to have that motivation. So, because when I'm drawing, sometimes some of the motivation can come from music itself, like in a song or whatever the case may be, and something might spark with me. But more or less, I just have to have the music because I gotta have noise going when I'm actually drawing when I'm doing the actual drawing portion anyway. Yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
And so I first ran about you on YouTube. You were a channel called Extreme Sega, but I did not realize this was you. And you
Yes,
did some
yes,
cartoons and some characters. You're you doing your artwork on this channel. Now,
right,
when did you start
right.
on YouTube?
Oh man, that probably would have been back like right around the time Pixel Dan was doing the classics characters. So it was somewhere's around 2008, 2009, somewhere's around there. It's been a while.
And did you incorporate your art on your YouTube channel right away, or did you build up to that? Or
I kind of did right away. I just wasn't sure how to get it in there. It was the channel was always supposed to be about toys and artwork combination together. It was always supposed to be about that. But yeah, I just didn't get it in right away. So I was just because I was just trying to get my ground, trying to learn YouTube, trying to figure, how am I going to do this toy thing and things like that. So that's kind of how it went.
all right, well, the final question I got for this interview, and this is a good one here. Then we're going to get into showing some of Adam's artwork, which I can't wait to show you some of this stuff. It's
Sure.
incredible. But my final question is, if you had a dream job in the industry of working as an artist, what would be your dream job?
Box art artist for Mattel. Basically the
Wow.
same thing that Axel Gelmez is doing. I can never
Jimenez?
pronounce his.
Yeah, I don't
That's
know
it.
either.
I want his job. I said
Yeah.
that's my dream job right there.
That those are some
Yeah,
big shoes to fill. I'm not saying you can't do it, sir, because I am a big fan of your work. But I mean,
yeah.
yeah, that would be a killer job. If you couldn't get Masters of the Universe, what would be a second choice?
Hasbro.
GI Joe,
Anything. Yeah,
Transformers.
GI Joe. Yeah,
GI
it
Joe.
would be. It would definitely be GI Joe because a lot of the vintage stuff that I like isn't revived yet. So definitely something like GI Joe would be the
Okay.
next in line.
Now I got a question for the chat here. I'm seeing on my feed that me and Adam are kind of freezing at times. Is the audio still fluid, or is that freezing as well? We'll have to
I
wait.
see it. I see it okay on my end. I just don't know about the
Yeah.
community, but yeah. But on
Oh,
my
yeah.
end, we're perfect.
Hello, John. And then
Hey,
we
John.
got Whimsy here. Adam's artwork is
Whimsy.
amazing. He most certainly
Yep,
would create awesome stuff. I highly agree.
that's Tara.
And she says the audio is good. So that's good. So we're just kind of
Yeah.
sticking on our end, but at least, you know, and Radical Mom says all okay. So let's get into some of his work. Now, Adam did this sketch for a guy's logo, extremely handsome fella. And I think he really caught him good here. This Motu Joneser
No,
guy, I
yeah,
don't know if you
yeah.
guys heard of him. I think he's pretty awesome. But this kind of shows you how Adam's logo design works here. If you'd like to elaborate on it, Adam.
Sure. Essentially, what I do first, before I even see what you're seeing here, this is the digital portion. What I do first is I do the pencil work on paper. That's the very first step, especially if I'm trying to turn somebody like yourself into a cartoon character. That always comes first because sometimes I'll have to sketch it out a couple times, or I might do things a different way. And I just kind of go with what my brain thinks, right? So, and then once I actually get the sketch work done, we bring it in, and then you can see on your left hand side here that is your outline in black ink,
Okay.
and then from there you just fill in the color, and boom, you got your logo.
So that's where I began as a sketch here. And then later you got the color and brought me to life. Now,
Exactly.
I am not the only fella that Adam has done here. You're gonna have to bear with me for a second, and I'll bring up another great thing he's done here. Here's another buddy of ours. This would be Sir Clifton.
Right. Yep.
Adam has also done his logo and design.
He was actually really fun because I find it's very simple when somebody's bald. So it's very easy to do bald people.
Right.
So I found that one turned out pretty cool. I was pretty proud of that one actually.
Yeah. And see, I still got a little hair. So it's like pick it, Jones, or either be all the way bald or have some hair, but you can't have it split in both ponds, right?
Right, right,
I
right.
noticed you gave me more hair than I have in real life in my cartoon, and for that I thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Jared would be an easy guy to do, or Sir Clifton, rather. I didn't say that
Right.
word, but he would be an easy guy or a fun guy to do his art because of the glasses and that he's already kind of a cartoon character in a way already. And I kind of get a foot in that pond with my overflowing personality, but
Right.
yeah, I really love what you do here. So we've got some more. Did you lose me for a sec there?
Oh, we did. You're back. You're back.
Okay.
We did for a sec. You just had a freeze. I think it was when you
Um,
were trying to load in the next one,
well,
maybe.
I'm hoping it'll get better because I'm clearing some of this stuff out as I don't need it anymore. So right now my other monitor is like loaded with this stuff. But as
Right.
we remove it, I think it'll make the stream a little better. Anyway, moving on here. We've got our buddy Eldor.
Oh,
I
yes.
really like this.
Yeah.
This is cool.
I thought it was kind of neat because I was thinking, how can I capture him? Like, how can I capture Eldor? And I started thinking about different characters, like Lord of the Rings. Like, yeah, one thing that you can learn about artists is they always draw inspiration from something. It doesn't matter. Every artist does. Even Axel does. You've seen some of his artwork that's based off famous paintings and things like that. So that's kind of where I got some of my inspiration for this one, was kind of like the Gandalf sort of thing. And then it's like, well, how can I draw this? And then I just started plugging away, and that's kind of how I come up with the idea with the spell hand, with he's casting a spell sort of thing, and it worked out pretty good. I was pretty proud of that one too.
Oh no, he looks like he could go right into Marvel or DC Comics. I mean, it looks cool. I really dig Eldor here in this look, and I really think you capture the spirit of his channel. Whereas he is, a wizard from Eternia, and he does magical things.
Right.
So
I hope.
very cool.
Yeah.
The final piece of artwork I want to show here before we move on to some video stuff.
Sure.
This one, me and Adam went on a bit of a tangent
Oh
the
yeah.
other night. We were talking comics and all kinds of stuff, and I got on a Punisher kick, and I'm even wearing the Punisher shirt, and I can see
Okay.
Adam's got the Punisher game behind him, and I must have went on a half-hour tangent about my fandom of the Punisher, and Adam's like, "Well, I got something I could show you here," and he popped this on. And now I want Adam to get the job at Marvel Comics taking over the Punisher. He looks way better there than he does recently. I don't like what they're doing with the Punisher lately, but I mean, that looks to me like the Frank Castle of my dreams, of my nightmares. This is where he needs to be.
And that's just a digital. That's a digital painting. But man, I remember working on that one. That one took a little. That one took a long time. It took me a couple days to finish it.
I'm a big fan of that one. I love the shadowing. I love the 3D effect. I love the blast effects. I love the bullets. I love the classic look to the armor, but still looks updated enough to not be a bite off the classic.
Mhm.
It's got a finger in every pawn that I like, and I love
Right.
this thing. So very cool. So now that we've cleared off all the images, I am
I
hoping that our lagging problem won't be anywhere near as bad anymore now.
actually I have one. I actually have one physical one I can show you. Is one of my recent ones that I did. If you got a second.
Yeah.
Sure. I've got for
Here, let
people
me give
that.
you the. Oop,
Yep. Sure.
let me give you the floor here.
For people that join the Patreon, of course, I offer the option to have a logo design, a banner, all that fun stuff. So I've been working on one for my latest Patreon member, which is Cobweb. And I was trying to think of different characters that I could come up with. And the one that I come up with, because I'm a Masters fan and he is a toy channel. So I thought, well, what about Web Store? What if I redesigned his spider web and I brought in web store. So I'll show you the spider web, then I'll show you web store. And essentially what's going to happen, because it's not finished, I'm going to put them together, and then that'll be his banner and his logo. So here is what I did with the spider web. It's hard. It might be hard to see it because of the color.
Yeah, I'll just say the light's giving us fits here.
Can you see it there?
That's a lot better.
So it's more like a cobweb that you can kind of see. And web store here is inked. So I already drew them. I already inked them. I'm just kind of doing the Photoshop color process. And this is essentially what we got that I come up with.
That is cool.
So web store is going to be sitting inside of a spider web. And that's the idea. So that's something that I offer. And rather than have to pay big dollars, because artists will charge you a lot of money to do artwork and banners. So it's an easier way. It's an alternate, it's a cheap way to get something done.
Yes, commissioned work is not cheap from an artist. And if you would like to commission Adam, all you would have to do is become a Patreon on Adam's channel, and he would, for reasonably, do some artwork for you. I mean, he's not going to give you a 17-page comic book layout, but he will do some things for you for your donation that matches the intensity of your donation, if y'all hear me loud and clear.
Right.
Nothing's free, folks. But another thing I wanted to get at here, there's some stuff Adam does on his channel also for shorts, where he does some sketches, and he does them in kind of a fast forward, or what do they call that?
Time lapse.
Time lapse. Thank you. So these are pretty cute. So I'm gonna throw this up here and see what you guys think. And one thing I want to say, I really like that song that you put to him. I think it goes good with the thing being in fast forward. So I have this mental image of you like downstairs on like 6 pots of coffee, drawing this thing at that breakneck speed, which I understand is probably not realistic whatsoever, but it is very, very cool.
Yeah, they're fun. It's something I discovered that I try to do, and it's fun to do those ones.
Well, we're checking up on the chat here. Rolo here. Oh, I hear that. Could Adam give a house number for something like he did for Eldor?
House number? What does he mean?
Rolo, you're gonna have to elaborate on that. Thanos Copter saying pretty cool. Ocean Breeze Salty. Yeah, rockin' music. It is Q. Rolo says, I think that's an appropriate queen for Stratos. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yep.
And figuratively speaking, he watches all your sketches and he thinks they're amazing. Very, very cool. There's another video I've got queued up here that I worked on Adam with myself. Now, we did a few little short animations, and I did some voiceover work. I think in this particular video, I did both voices, but there's a few where we collaborated, or we collaborated with other people, or we've done other things. Due to the video saving space, I only put on the one, so we'll have to probably show the others another time. But check this one out, folks.
What? Nothing. What is it?
Nothing at all. We aren't going to get whiplash if we crash, are we?
For fuck's sake.
That makes me laugh every time. I love
Yeah, me
the
too.
Trap Jaw with the "I love princesses" lunchbox. What makes you think of that?
I thought of it because I like She-Ra, right? And I'm just like, wait a
Right,
minute, how can I get a She-Ra joke in here, right? But it's one of those skits where unless you're a Masters of the Universe fan, you're not gonna get it because unless you know who
right.
Whiplash is, you're not gonna get the joke, right? So
Yeah,
I've
that
had
was the
people
one.
watch it.
Yeah, that was the one flaw in it. If you don't know who Whiplash is, then it's why is that funny, you know? But
Yeah, yeah.
hey, Rolo, is that the first time you've seen that? Is that was something we did months ago? I want to say
Oh man, we did that. No, I want to say we did that a year ago because
it could
it's
have
been a
been.
it's
It
been
could have
a
been.
it's been a moment since we did an animation skit.
Yeah, we ought to do. I'm itching to do some voice work. Me. I been working on it. I did some Ninja Turtle stuff on my channel with Lyric this morning. That was a little fun. I'm starting to feel stronger and stronger, and soon Joneser will be back at full strength. Now, when we close up here on Adam's channel and his stuff, there's one last thing that I wanted to get to. Adam does the toy news, and he's really on top of the subject, and he does the toy news presentation in a very creative way. So we're going to go to a commercial break here and give Adam a little bit of time to set up something really cool for you. And then we will be back after these messages.
And now, this message.
The ultimate evil, Darkseid, attacks. His horde of villains spread chaos and destruction. But now they face Earth's mightiest heroes. The Superpowers Collection explodes into battle. It's Kenner's Superpowers Collection. Figures with power action, each sold separately.
Who's Batman's friend? It's Firestorm. Squeeze him. His power action will destroy evil. Evil like Calabac with his Beta Club or Desaad with his lethal shock machine? We shall see.
The Superpowers Collection. Batman, Firestorm, Calabac, Desaad, and other figures with power action, each sold separately from Kenner.
Introducing that king of fun, the one who's okay with us kids, the Magic Burger King!
In person?
Yay!
I'm the marvelous magical Burger King. I can do most anything. Now watch me, kids, when I twist my ring like magic.
We're at Burger King! Is more Magic Burger King?
I'm the marvelous magical Burger King. I can do most anything. I love magic and food that's fun. So I'll make a burger disappear, make it come back here. Turn apples into pies right before your eyes. Turn onions into rings.
As we can see,
Put a shiver in the shake. It's easy for me. I'm the marvelous magical Burger King. I can do most anything. I love magic and food that's fun. So
you got fun for everyone! Burger King, yay!
Day after day, Toothopolis stands behind its beautiful wall of teeth, ever vulnerable to the cavity creeps.
we climb to make holes.
The cavity creeps. I'll call the Crest team.
The siren. The cavity creeps must be near our beloved wall of teeth.
Yes, at the upper back molar.
Hurry into the Crestmobile.
Crest, protect us!
This good spot for big hole.
We must fight the cavity creeps with our fluoride.
Take this, cavity creeps.
Crest!
Drat that crest.
Toothopolis is saved!
The cavity creeps are a constant threat to every Toothopolis.
So you must fight with us.
Have regular checkups
Watch treats.
and brush after every meal with
R-E-S.
T.
Don't pout, check it out. Zach's gonna show you what work's about.
It's the blob,
I am the future blob.
without a job,
I am the future blob.
What can I do?
No need to panic, no need to get scared. You can make the future by being prepared. Ask, what do I like to do? What jobs are suited to me?
I like to skate. I like to go bowling. But my favorite hobby is cutting and sewing.
You can get going, plan a business sewing. It's your job, your future job. There are many jobs you can train for. Seamstress tailor, costume designer, alterations, pattern maker.
I am the blob, the future blob.
It's no blob when you plan for a job. Don't be afraid, make a career and get paid. Do your job, plan for a future job, and you won't fear the mean old future blob.
The guilty shall be punished.
Now that is cool. I don't know if y'all can hear me, or it's, but definitely you can see Adam animating. He has become a puppet here. So Adam does the news or the toy news, and he does it in the style of where he makes an animated puppet, and he can do it live on the fly. I've seen him do it on other shows and whatnot, and it is truly incredible if you ask me. Yeah, I'm always blown away.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. It's a lot of fun creating. And I can, turn things off and on the fly.
Yeah, look, he can move the eyebrow up, blinks when he blinks, and like that is just really, really cool.
Yeah, it's all done in real time. It's pretty cool.
Right. I think that's incredible. Oh man, the guilty should be punished. Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Which reminds me, I downloaded the movie. I got to watch it.
Oh, the Dolph Lundgren one?
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet, but I got it. I just got to watch it.
Sure. No, I really love the Dolph Lundgren one. I think that is a lot of fun. Ocean Breeze Salty says Adam make Punisher more handsome, like the one with Dolph. So she's a fan of old Dolph. And we got Whimsy laughing, which is cool.
Yeah.
Awesome artwork, Adam. Very, very cool. Well, OBS, he has never seen the Dolph one. I was recommending it to him the other day when I was on my Punisher tangent.
No, it's funny because I've seen the cover, but I've never watched the movie. It just must have skipped me somehow. But yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
I really enjoy that movie, and I'm going to tell you something right now. There are some movies out there where like you're looking for an Oscar Academy performance and the greatest friggin' artistic show you've ever seen. This is not that movie. This is one where you get a bowl of popcorn, you sit down, and you just enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like there are just some movies, not every movie needs to be like the greatest thing you ever seen. Like some of them are just hey, yay, Punisher shooting people and stuff blowing up. Like that's what it needs, and that's what it got.
Right.
So, yeah, Ray Black still has the picture he drew of them on their IG. OBS says I like the Ray, and
I did a picture. Yeah.
Well,
Rhea, that's right too. I forgot about that.
Our topic today was going to be Big Bad Toy Store. So I figured we'd get into a little bit of a discussion about Big Bad Toy Store. I'm going to kind of start here, Adam, and then I'll lean into you. Big Bad Toy Store is a service that I use. I use a lot. In fact, I've got Big Bad Toy Store boxes stacked up to the moon here, toys I even haven't opened yet, and I've got a laundry list of things pre-ordered from them. They are, I think, Somerset, Wisconsin, which is not far away from where I live at all. I'm here in Caledonia, Minnesota. So
right,
I've had things shipped to me from there, and I've got them the following day a few times, depending on when they sent it out. So I've been pretty lucky. I've had good experiences with them only. I had one issue where I bought the Masterverse Zodak and he was missing the shoulder pad armor pieces. It
I
just
remember
wasn't
that
in there.
video. I remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I was a little upset about that. And then I got contacted them, and this was one of those toys that I had put on the shelf for like a month and a half before I had opened it. And their policy states if you've had possession of it for over 30 days, it's yours, right? And I was like, yeah, I'm sorry. I order from you guys a lot. I've probably spent, hundreds, if not thousands of dollars here. And, I'm still going to continue to use your service. I don't want this to push me off. And they're like, you know what? I'm looking at your account. You've never complained. You've bought a lot of, so we're just going to refund you. And he said, we'd give you another one, but we don't have another one in stock. And so we're just going to refund you. And then he refunded me. And then I went right on their page. And sure enough, they had one in stock, which blew my mind. And I just ordered it. But yeah, it was a good experience where they helped me and they didn't have to.
Right.
Like their policy was, that it was my problem. So I want to throw that out there for any of you fellow toy people. If you're buying a lot of packages from Big Bad Toy Store and they're piling up, grindhead, I'm looking at you. You might want to get to opening them in less than 30 days, not a year, because they're not going to refund you if that thing's missing something, or if there's, and most of the time there's no problem, but it wouldn't be on Big Bad Toy Store that there's a problem. It would be on the manufacturer that they purchased the item from. So yeah, it's a slippery slope. But now I'll come over to you, Adam, here. Do you use Big Bad Toy Store?
No, I don't use it whatsoever. I haven't used it since probably the last time I ordered from them was probably sometime before the pandemic, so sometime in 2020.
And is a lot of the reason why because you're in the Great White North and the shipping is just an arm and a leg?
Yep. The shipping is an arm and a leg, so the whole loot the loot idea that you guys get where the shipping is cheaper, that ain't offered to me. So I don't get that as an option. It's expensive to ship to me. And not only that, but it's not reasonable in the sense that if something's in stock from Big Bad Toy Store, it takes at least 30 days to get it in my hands. It's not feasible to somebody who's trying to do reviews every week, and you're constantly trying to, you're on a budget and you're trying to get like a video out as soon as you can. So 30 days is just not feasible to me.
Right. Well, and also, like we've seen our buddy there. I feel embarrassed. I lost his name, but he's almost first every time. The Man-Child. The Man-Child. I always wonder, like, how does he get these things before everyone else does? Like he's usually first on YouTube, and you notice he gets a lot of views and a lot of traffic because he's first to the dance. So getting the toy early is huge if you want to get that initial traffic. And a lot of times you get people like me who's had the toy sit here for forever. By then the new is kind of wore off, and now I'd be lucky, because like I was the first to get a Wind Raider. I was ahead of a lot of people on YouTube. I was also early with the Mechanic Road Ripper, and those videos got thousands of views as soon as I put them up. And because I was one of the few people on YouTube that had a video of it, but like I've got stuff here. I've got the Faker.
Yep.
But I mean, people have already opened them. There's lots of videos of that out there. I've got the Grizzlor, and again, I won't be early. I won't be the first. One of the ones I'm really excited about, I got the Clawful. I really want to open this, but, and I've got a bazillion of these over here. I've got Ram Man, Too Bad, the Deluxe Man at Arms. I mean, I think these things are piling up on me. you know, and I'm not trying to brag because I got all this money or whatnot, or I'm buying all these toys. But the thing is like when you're trying to do a YouTube channel and you need content, and then so you're buying the toys to do the content, and because I love the stuff, like I was going to buy this stuff anyways, even if I didn't have a channel, but trying to collect Origins and collect Masterverse. And then now I'm dipping into Ninja Turtles, and I was doing Superpowers, and I really can't afford another thing, but some of those McFarlane DC stuff looks tempting. And oh man, some of those Marvel Legends, how have I not bought one of those? And it's like, so how do I stop?
Yeah,
I don't
I
think
know.
I can.
Like I got like that stuff. Same with me. Like I kind of put G.I. Joe to rest for a little bit. I'm still going to get some figures, but it's been a moment since I even touched one because I'm still getting caught up with Origins, and Masterverse is way behind schedule for me. And now I'm bringing in a vintage line that I decided that I wanted to get into. So I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to manage all of this.
Right. Yeah. And I would have no idea. Greg Valentine or George Valentine, sorry. The animal George Valentine. Odd question. Does anyone know a good company to use to restore an old pedal car? I do not. If anybody in the chat can help this fella out, that would be cool. Cobweb Collector. He lives close to Frankensons, where people are getting these figures first, but he hasn't been yet. And we got Studio. Oh, I've always wanted to do that. Nice to see you, Studio. Is that why you named yourself that? Is that the reason? I need to know this. Let me know in the comments. Is that why you're Studio? Is it because of the is that a Genesis song? What is that? Do you know, Adam?
I do not.
I think it's a Genesis song.
You're definitely, music is your area, not mine. So
yeah. I guess you know, we dove into you a little bit. We'll dive into me a little here. I do play drums in a rock band, and so I'm a music guy. I've been a music guy since I was a kid. I played drums in marching band. I did concert band. I did jazz band. I did the Annie play. I did a lot of stuff. I am well versed in many arts of drumming, you know, jazz, theater. But of course, when you're 13 years old and got long hair and a Metallica shirt, you don't care about none of that. You just want to rock. I want to rock, you know? And so that's what I wanted to do. And so I did that. And, you know, we did the, you know, stay in a van and live on the road and make no money. And,
yeah,
you know, and eventually I grew up and joined the real world. And then later in life with adult money, I got back into the music. And I currently play in a cover band. We're doing the City Fest here next weekend in my hometown. And, you know, I'm excited about that. But
it's good.
You know, you were saying when you started your channel, you wanted it to be about toys, and then you segued into the artwork. Well, for me, when I started my channel, I was watching these comic book mystery boxes. And I was watching this guy, I think he was Franchise Kicks. There was another guy, a Wink Ink, and I was addicted to these videos where these guys bought these comic book mystery boxes. There was a big, crazy Grail prize of a comic book in there. And they were basically like a 1 in 500 chance you're going to pull this like $1,000 comic book for your $50 or $100 box or whatever it was, you know, that you did. And what usually happens is you open up a bunch of comics that you never would have bought in the first place, and you end up disappointed and wonder why you did that. But some of my first YouTube videos was me opening up those comic mystery boxes, and I am green as grass, baby. You can hear me talking to my wife as she's filming me, like, is it on? Hi, I'm Joneser, and this is my comic box. And like, I suck. And that's what the channel started as. And then as a perfect storm, the pandemic hit, and then the Masters of the Universe Origins started hitting the stores. And I really wanted to do the Masters of the Universe stuff. In fact, quite honestly, I named the channel Motu Joneser. I didn't name it Comic Joneser. Oh, I got my answer here. It's Phil Collins, and yes.
Yes.
And she had the CB radio, and her handler was Captain Fantastic. Oh, awesome. Awesome. I kind of smelled that. Studio. You know?
I love Phil Collins' music.
Oh, dude, it's great. I don't think for me, music in the 80s is kind of probably about as good as it gets. But
Yeah,
this is just seeing through the eyes of an old dog.
That's what I listen to when I'm drawing. I put 80s on. That's what I'll always put 80s on before anything else. That's what I listen to.
I like a lot of the 70s rock. My band is starting to segue into the 90s because we're starting to kind of figure that the bar crowd is in their 30s, and a lot of them grew up listening to the 90s, and so that's this kind of stuff they're going to want to hear. And I've had to swallow the pill that I'm not going to the bar to play the music to entertain myself. I'm going to the bar to entertain the customer. And so we've got to play the kind of music the customer wants, not necessarily the kind of music I want to play.
Right.
So, it is what it is. Yeah, we got the chat going here. George Valentine.
Yeah.
No, you don't want to restore them, and it's not something to sell, and I want to do it as a gift for him. I think he's still talking about his pedal car. Oh, yeah, it is. It's a metal fire truck from the 60s.
From the
very
60s,
cool.
my uncle's.
And it was his uncle's. So very, very cool. And yeah, Jay, I completely agree with you. The 80s are the best. That's my favorite stuff.
Me too.
My
mind lives in the 80s. Like,
do you have any favorite bands of the 80s? Like
favorite
rock and
bands.
roll, pop. Like I like a Van Halen. I'm always going to Van Halen. Motley Crue. That's kind of my jam.
Oh man! Oh, you like Motley Crue? I didn't know you liked them. They're cool. I listened to a lot of Motley Crue when I was growing up.
Huge.
I like so many different. I like so many different bands. It's just I listened to everything from friggin' Michael Jackson to I don't know CCR. I listened to everything.
I love I Don't Care Anymore. The drums in that is a war cry. And yes, I can. I've done that many times for my own entertainment, but I've never covered the song in a bar scenario or a live scenario, and I would love to. I love that song.
Yeah.
That was my war cry song when I was going through my divorce. And I believe when Phil Collins wrote the song, he was going through the divorce. And it's such a great, I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore. And it's like, I think I related to that at the moment. We got Johnny Sorensen here in the house. Johnny, if you want to pop in, I can send the link to you. It'd be cool to have a third wheel here if you don't mind. Super expensive though, possibly cheaper to buy another one in better condition to gift.
Yeah.
And Howdy OBS and J80 Def Leppard, great choice. Def Leppard was my first concert.
Good.
I went to them on the Let's Get Rocked tour. Great choice. Def Leppard's one of those where you like get the greatest hits CD and you know every song. You know, bands like that, they just don't come up with that anymore. Now you go buy the CD, or if anybody even does buy physical media anymore, you download the album off Spotify or whatever you use, and there might be 2 songs on there, you know, and the rest of it's garbage. You know, there was a time where you just pop that thing in your tape deck and let it ride.
Yep.
You know, and music isn't like that anymore.
No, we actually still have like a Blu-ray store, and no one goes in there. It's a ghost town.
I'm with you, OBS. Blast that and yell it to the sky.
Yeah.
And George Valentine, I absolutely agree. Metallica Master of Puppets album was great. I spent a lot of time in my teens studying Lars Ulrich's drumming on that and trying to implement it and do it. And what's funny is actually some of Lars's stuff, Lars gets a lot of crap from drummers that he's too simple or that his stuff's not easy. I would challenge them to try to do the beat to one. And I'm not talking the 6-tuplet double bass thing everybody knows, little da-da-da-da-da-da. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when the song's kind of chill and he's doing that weird kind of off pattern just driving beat for that haunting guitar line there. That's tricky. That's not easy. Sue Studio, I'm an oldster of 69 years old, so you can imagine what most of my albums. Yes, I can, and I bet I love every one of them.
Yeah.
I bet I would enjoy everything you've got in your collection.
Yeah.
Metallica, GNR, Bon Jovi. I think you just explained my childhood right there. That's some good stuff right there. And yes, I did get a Masterverse Shadow Weaver. I believe I did a video and opened her. I think I did with Frosta, if I'm not mistaken. I think I was doubling up some unboxings trying to catch up, which I'll never catch up. And Rolo fights the power. He does not download any album. Unfortunately, I have children, so my children have talked us into this Christmas of getting Spotify Premium. And now I have come to the dark side. I can download entire albums from my childhood and listen to them, put them in any order I want. And honestly, this is the greatest musical experience of my life. I can make my own playlists. I don't have to wait for it to come on the radio and run to push play to a tape deck and hope I get it. The world has changed. I'd hate to say it. Us old farts are left in the dust. The modern
Yeah, we all been through that experience back in the 80s where the cassette tape would, your cassette player would friggin' eat your tape and like, oh shoot.
Yes. My son, he found my cassette tapes. He didn't even know what they were. He was like, what is this? There's some like recording equipment from the 50s. I'm like, oh my God, go to bed. What are you talking about?
Oh, Jones, we're old.
Recording equipment for the 50s. What he thought I had like freaking spy tapes from my CIA days or something. AC/DC, great choice.
Yeah.
Rolo's a death metal fan. I like me some death metal, and but he listens to all music. That's uncommon for most death metal fans. A lot of death metal fans I know kind of stay in that lane pretty hard. So I'm glad to see that you're open minded. Well, that's a Rolo. It's Manic Classic Toy Shop, a death metal guy. But Michael, sorry, I caught the wrong. I think I thought Masters Maniac, and instead I see Manic. Oh, got a little tongue tied here. I had the wrong guy for a second. I caught it. I figured it out. And OBS loves all music, every era. In the air tonight. Yeah.
I like that one.
His wife in bed with someone. Ooh, that's harsh. I was told it was something about somebody drowning. I want to say they even said it, but maybe the drowning's a metaphor, or I don't know. Everything from Beethoven to Zeppelin. It sounds like a tin can. Yeah, it does. Nothing beat an old record. Johnny, get that pencil out. I don't know what you mean by that, Johnny. You might need to elaborate. I have everything on vinyl because I love the sound. Yeah, no, me too. Figuratively speaking, Ozzy, Alice Cooper, Iron Maiden. I like your style, my friend. I like your style. I have every Iron Maiden album that there is, or the ones that are all worth having. I think you lose me somewhere at Brave New World, I think was the last one I purchased. Sue Studio has 3,600 vinyl albums. Oh my God, I would love to come over and just listen. Don't like the new pop or rap. Might find one or two songs that are catchy, but not worth remembering like the old school. Yeah, the same name in our YouTube thing. Yeah, that's what got me. I tried to be quick, and I should have looked at the symbol. I know your symbol.
Yeah.
Thrift stores are the good friend. Yeah, if you're looking for vintage vinyl, there. Yeah. He's that's another thing that messed me up. I knew Rolo liked the metal too, so that's why I assumed it was him.
Right.
Drowning is the metaphor. Yep, that's okay. That makes sense. You got to wind the tape back in. Yeah, everybody got a pen with the cap on it. You got to do that. And Whimsy loves Spotify. They definitely make mixed tapes a great experience again. And I agree. That's what sold me on it. And we're going to get one more comment here, and then we're going to go to a commercial break because I got to see a man about a horse. Yeah, I've seen Iron Maiden, and they had the Giant Eddie. Yes, I've seen Iron Maiden several times, and yes, they bring the Giant Eddie out almost every time, and I love it. Let's see here. We are going to commercial.
First time.
And we will be back after these messages, folks. So more member berries.
We'll return after these messages.
Here are a few words about Levi's jeans and cords.
Levi's.
The citizens of Toothopolis remain ever watchful for.
The cavity creeps! Chris!
We make holes in teeth!
Quick! Warn the Crest team! Chris! Cresty's trying to tell us something. The cavity creeps! Chris, come on!
Let's give him the brush with Crest's fluoride. Watch treats, see your dentist, and fight the cavity creeps like the Crest team.
Fight cavities with Crest!
Imagine Eternia. Imagine the gate of fangs. Batteries not included. Imagine the soaring sky tracks. Figures sold separately. The cavern of justice. Imagine the power lift to the control chamber. At last, from the masters of the universe, the world you've always imagined can be yours.
Get yourself ready for a trip through McDonald land. Take along a friend and grab a hold of Ronald's hand. Follow Ronald McDonald through the land of apple pie trees. And don't be surprised if you meet Big Mac and Big Cheese. There's thick shake volcanoes, you'll even find a French fried thatch. Now just turn around and see if you won't find a hamburger patch as you're heading for a McDonald's in McDonald land, a McDonald's in McDonald land, a McDonald's.
Coming from the farthest reaches of the universe to challenge the worst villains on Earth are the most powerful heroes ever in the battle of the Superpowers Collection. Hark! Batman being called to stop a dastardly deed new from Kenner's Superpowers Collection. The Batmobile figures with power action sold separately.
Got you, Joker. Don't laugh yet. You missed the war. It's a trap. Activate battle ram. Trouble, Batman? Not my Batmobile. Unleash phase 2.
Is this the end of our heroes in the Batmobile? You decide.
If Monday's sad or Tuesday's sad, make a Saturday.
That's a Sunday.
Wednesday rains or Thursday craze, make a Saturday.
Looks like a Sunday.
Instead of half a banana and a pineapple ring, add yogurt creamy smooth. Pop a grape on top, and that's a Saturday for you. Make a weekend treat any day of the week. Make a Saturday.
Now that's a Saturday.
All right, so 2 beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. See how I can do it. That was a McDonald's deal. Well, I sent some invites out into our weird, fantastic team. So we'll see if anybody wants to jump on with us. If not, the line is open. If you are part of the weird, fantastic team, you're definitely invited on. And we are going to get on to the subject at hand, and that is the Big Bad Toy Store. So I'm going to pull up their website here on the stream. And here we are. So I tend to use Big Bad Toy Store quite a bit, you know, and I said that before, whereas Adam there in the Great White North, it's not a good option for him, which is unfortunate because
I wish I could. I wish I could. I'm actually really jealous that you guys can use Big Bad Toy Store.
Well, the thing that gets me, I get offered the pile of loot feature, and they can ship to me for $4. So it means
Right.
no sense to me to save me money. Whereas, wouldn't it make more sense to them to pile as much of your stuff in a box and send it to you once, since they're charging you an arm and a leg to do it? That's just a poor business decision. It makes zero amount of sense to me. It's like, to me, you should try to work hard to get every customer you can get. Now, if they did that option, Adam, what's a typical shipping box cost to get to you from there? $30,
from the United States, roughly, be through 30, anywhere between $30 and $40, depends on what's in it. If it's just one figure in a small box, you're looking at $30.
Okay. Now, if they were to do a bigger box that had lots of figures in it, are we talking probably 50?
We're talking probably about 60.
50, 60. Okay.
$60.
And so, yeah, they'd have to really pack that box to make that worth your while. Otherwise, I can see why this doesn't make sense. But I thought we'd play around here on the website and do a little window shopping. When I was a kid, one of my favorite experiences when we go to the store, I don't know, you go to the store with your mom, if they had Kmart's or Walmart's or what they had where you grew up, but you'd always beg, can we go to the toy aisle? Can we go to the toy aisle? I just want to look. I just want to look. I want to see what's there. I won't ask for nothing. And every mom knew, man, you lying. As soon as you see something you want, you're going to be tugging on my leg, begging me for this, But anyways, I think every kid had that experience. Did I nail that on the head there?
Oh yes, yep. I was one of those culprits for sure. We had like Kmart, Zellers, and Toys R Us were our big ones.
Okay. I don't know if I know Zellers.
It's Canadian. Yeah.
Okay. Being that we're both fans of it, I'm going to click on this Masters of the Universe here, and so we can see here for available origins. What they usually do is they'll put the hot ones or the pre-orders up in the front. And so I see you could still available to get Skeleton Warriors. I see they put Rattler, Cobra Khan, and Mini Comic Trap Jaw back. They have these specialty Snake Man 4-pack. Now, I did have that on pre-order, and then I canceled it because I had $500-600 worth of stuff in my pre-orders, and I was like, I gotta trim this back. I can't do this.
Right.
And it's like I work hard, I have a good job, and I make good money, but that doesn't mean I need to completely give in to my impulses. I did keep the Skeletor Screech, and I did order a Snake Mountain. I had to. I do have Spike Ore coming. I am in possession of the Snake Face and the Dragon Blaster.
I love that one.
I got can't wait for Squeeze coming. I just bought vintage Squeeze off of Michael Purvis there at the Manic Plastic Toy Shop, and he gave me a real good price on a vintage Squeeze. So I was thank you again, Mike. That was great. In fact, I got to plug him again. If any of you are looking for vintage toys, this dude is the bomb. He's got the goods, and he's very easy to work with. He ships promptly, takes his stuff through PayPal. Just old school, solid dude. So Manic Plastic Toy Shop, Michael Purvis. He's on Instagram. He's on Facebook. He's got a YouTube page. He's all over the place.
So all kinds of different toys, or just
Yeah, he's got superheroes, Ninja Turtles, Thundercats, you name it. I don't know what it would cost for him to ship to Canada, so you guys would probably have to work something out or talk to him, give you some quotes or something. But well, there he is in the comments right there. He spent the last 3 days changing his setup of his collection, and he's not done. Does that ever end? You're always moving stuff around. Me and Lyric were moving things around today. I think I'm just dusting them. Well, that one looks better over there. Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah.
And yes, please consider supporting Bill at Weird Fantastic Toy Adventures on Patreon. Bill's has a tremendous channel, obviously. You know that because you're here. And I am trying to take good care of it while Bill is away. So if I can get him some watch hours and some new Patreons, I'll have done a good job, wouldn't I? And yes, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Don't miss any future content. Hit the notification bell. And quite honestly, myself and Adam both have YouTube channels as well, and we would also appreciate your support.
Yep.
Johnny is kicking himself. King Hiss sold out worldwide, and most of them on eBay are 100 Australian. Oh, man. Well, I'll tell you what, Johnny, if I can wrangle one for you. I see him at Target from time to time. I might get a hold of you there if I can wrangle one of those for you.
I got lucky and got one because we got one here in Canada, and I was like, if I don't buy this now, I am not gonna get them, and I paid out the arse for them.
Well, and here's your answer, Adam. Manic Plastic Toy Shop said he would work with you to deal on some stuff if you need some stuff or if you're looking.
I'll hit you up on Instagram because there's one particular vintage brand that I want to get into, so I'll message you.
Perfect. I love when I can bring people together.
Yeah.
I ended up passing on this Origin Snake Tila and Snake Armor Man at Arms. Not because I didn't think they were cool, just something had to be cut. I got the Origin Snake Trooper before I could cut it, but I was about to. It looks like if you guys missed out on Ninjor, you can pre-order him. And it is for pre-orders for
do they still have did I see Web Store in there too?
No, Spikor. These are all just for the pre-orders. So
okay.
Let's see what's available now.
I was just wondering when Web Store comes because I seen him in the pre-order list. I was just wondering when he was coming out.
We'll see what's available now for Motu Origins besides the pre-orders. They've got Horde Trooper in stock. In case you haven't found a Sorceress or a Naked Stratos, they've got them there for you. Looks like 2000X versions are there. Ooh, they got 50% off on Jitsu. So they're practically giving him away.
Jeez, that's awesome.
Yeah,
$5.
50% on Buzz Off too. So if you've missed out on Jitsu or Buzz Off, you can get them half off a Big Bad Toy Store right now. It's in stock. Got Anti-Eternia He-Man in stock. Terraclaw Skeletor, Panther, Flying Fist He-Man, Strider half off. That's an amazing deal.
Yeah.
That Strider kit is pretty good. So $18 for a Strider is not bad. In fact, I got Lyric one as it was half off at Walmart. Got the Guard. You can get a Sunman at half off. Clamp Champ. Or you could order the whole box of Wave 7. I don't know why anyone would do that. You're going to get the Zor Tila. That is in stock. Clawful is in stock. Wind Raider is in stock. Mantana, multi-language packaging is in stock. That was something that surprised me and upset me because I know you guys overseas, you get the multi-language packaging where there's no English bubbles in the mini comics. So you can't read the story.
No.
And man, you want to talk about the first world problems. I got my toy and I was like, what? You don't got any words in it? I want my money back. This is a bunch of bull crap. There, I live in America. I want American words in my American toy. God dang it, I'm going to reissue all over. At least that's how people outside of the U.S. think we are.
Right.
And I'm sure you've been dealing with that since the beginning. So to you, that's hair off your head.
To get one that actually has the chop bubbles in it is a blessing, or like a bonus, a treat, so to speak.
Johnny's saying that Webster is a reissue, so they must be reissuing him. I haven't seen him in there yet, but we're going to keep looking.
That's awesome.
And Manic says he has most of the Origin waves up until the Jitsu wave, so he's got a lot of Origin stuff too.
I never thought we'd see the light of the day Web Store coming back because I don't know what it is with that character, but you just can't find him.
You see, and I got lucky on some of these harder ones. Like I found Webster, Stinkor. I found Wave 2. I think I found everything in store or in stock, and the few I didn't, I was able to pre-order on Big Bad Toy Store. So here he is. Yep, you can pre-order Webster. I wonder why he wasn't there for the pre-orders on the other screen.
I think I did see him in the list. I think you just missed him. I saw him there. But what's the release date for him? Can you click on it?
Click on that. It looks like he will ship on fourth quarter 2023.
Okay, so it'll give me a rough idea when I can start hunting for one.
Yeah, about 3 months to the end of the year. Last 3 months of the year.
Okay,
that's
cool.
About when you should look.
I wanted to have another. I'd love to have another one of him because I like him so much. So
we got Battle Armor in stock. Grandor you could pre-order.
When's Dragon Blaster come out? Do you know?
I got mine. I want to say they have a second pre-order going. I have to go back for that one. Hold on a second here. He'll arrive in July, so
Oh,
next
sweet. Because
month.
I got Eldor scored one for me, so he pre-ordered me one from Big Bad Toy Store, and then I just do a trade with them.
So Eldor works off Big Bad. I wonder what they
a
sought
lot,
him
yeah.
to ship to New Zealand or to Eternia, rather.
I don't know, but I think he must get some sort of deal through it. I don't know though. I honestly I don't know.
And then now we're getting into the sold out stuff where you got Scareglow and yeah. And then they just tell you don't even dare to hope. This stuff's not here.
We never got any of that stuff here in Canada. All those ones that you're looking at never even came here.
Yeah, and quite honestly, a lot of these I did not see in store. I think I did see the Snake Armor in store, and I seen the King Hiss and the Thunder Punch in store, and the Snake Armor. Of course, I've seen plenty of these in store, but I never saw Cobra Khan.
Right.
I think I found Roboto and Merman through the Target app. Was how I scored that. Well, let's get away from Origins here. One thing I wanted to point out as I was looking at this, if you were a Masterverse guy, which a lot of people were big on the Origins, but not everybody jumped on the Masterverse bandwagon. And I think a lot of it was because of cost. You know, you can't afford to buy two, and these ones are a little spendier. But and some of it is Classics loyalty, where they're like, I don't want those knockoff Classics ones. But to me, I'm probably going to draw some ire out of you, but I think these are superior to the Classics ones in a lot of ways, in articulation, in design, and in price.
They are in that aspect. I just like the quality and the looks of the Classics. That's why I like Classics so much. But yeah, you're right on par with articulation. It's superior for sure.
And then Manic, I lost my mouse. Manic Plastic Toy Shop is saying that he has seen nothing in store except for the first wave and the Fisto wave and the Stratos wave. And that was all in the beginning. And you know what? There are a lot of Walmarts where it's just gone. They've taken the pegs off. They've taken the thing off. And usually once they remove it from retail, that's it. It's not coming back to that store. It's done.
No,
they gave up on it.
Well, our Walmart has had wave 8 for 2 years now. So I know what's going to happen is next April, because usually that's when they do their reset. They're going to go on a clearance, and I'm going to run in and I'm going to grab all the Clawfuls or all the friggin' ones that are in there for $5. And then that's it. Our Walmart's done with Masters of the Universe.
Yeah. And see, mine seems spotty. I have 2 Walmarts in Vicinity, and then another 3 if I want to drive a little. And when this stuff first came out, I was one of those psychopaths that got in the car and drove around freaking 2-3 hour radius around my house all over the place looking for this.
Me too.
I was a complete idiot, you know, and I did this for a while. And my wife indulged me at first because she was having fun road tripping and toy hunting. And then after a while, she's like, I don't want to do that again. We didn't find nothing. It wasn't fun. And it was what it was. But anyway, back to what I was going to say here. My point with the Masterverse stuff is we looked at Origins and it had spotty availability. But I want to say, I looked at this the other day. If you want to collect the Masterverse line, I'm pretty sure you can get every figure off Big Bad Toy Store right now. If you have just thousands of dollars in the bank and it was half a mind to just order every one of these, I think every one of them is available. And if you buy them by sets of 4, I think you get a little break on them. And you could even get 29% off a Battle Cat. But I think every single Masterverse toy, of course, this one's the pre-order yet. And it's weird that one's pre-order because I got mine.
Right.
I should do the video on him. Maybe not everybody got one. On a tangent there. But okay, it's short of the pre-orders. And you can still pre-order them, you know, so You can get the entire line of Masterverse. Oh, nope, here we go. You are done on New Eternia Stratos and Masterverse Whiplash. They are sold out. So, short of 2 figures, it looks to me like you can get the entire line. And I want to say that Stratos is available on Target online right now.
Yeah, you can probably get it Amazon as well if you.
Right.
That's probably another option too.
So instead of Masters of the Universe here, Adam, what other toy line do you want to scope out here?
Let's take a look at G.I. Joe Classified if you don't mind.
I don't mind at all.
See
I
what's
will
new
be
for them
honest
guys.
with you, and I'm probably going to get a gasp from the chat and the other toy people. Or should I wrote Classified? I probably should have. I am not and never really was a huge G.I. Joe fan. Oh, man. Apparently I can't spell. Let's try that again.
G.I. Joe.
Hey, bus driver, it's my first day of school. Here we go. Okay, I figured it out.
Cool.
How do you spell Classified? Never mind.
S. Double S.
Is that what got me, or did I miss the I in between the F, or whatever? Anyway, it looks like a lot of these are in stock here.
Yep. Some of the previous waves, but they're all there, and it's all the good characters. Like you got Zaymot and Tomax, you get Storm Shadow, and they're all there. That Spirit is freaking phenomenal. Wonderful figure. I've got one of those.
This
and
one
the Bat.
here?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I watched your unboxing
phenomenal.
on that.
He is so cool.
Yeah, you did a
that
wonderful unboxing.
The eagle. The eagle, you can go on his back and go on his wrist, and he's got an extra set of wings, and they're articulated on the eagle too. They're friggin'. It's such a the face sculpts on them is what gets me. They're just so well done.
So this is kind of like your high-end version of the G.I. Joes. This would be their Masterverse version of G.I. Joe. If I
right.
Pretty much. Because I remember as a kid, the few G.I. Joes that I had were them little tiny things with the rubber bands in the waist and the hole in the back and the real tiny. And then you always broke the thumb off and you couldn't hold the weapon anymore. And then if you were dumb like me, you took them in the bathtub and then they wouldn't stand up at all. They were just
that's what a lot of the classifieds are based off of now. Not when they first started the line, but they are now. When they first started the line, the characters were more based off the video game, and the video game it did piss poor. It did horrible. If you look it up, sometime G.I. Joe video game, I don't know what year it was. It's whenever the classified series started. And then they started waving away from it, and they started going more towards what the community wanted, which was the 80s G.I. Joe characters. And that's what we ended up getting going forward. So thank God they did that.
Right. Now, you're talking G.I. Joe video game. Do you mean like off a modern console?
Yes, I do. I believe it was PS4.
Okay. The only G.I. Joe game I remember is one on the old NES. I rented that from Blockbuster as a kid and got ticked off at it.
Yeah, they've had a few. There's even an arcade one. I've actually got it on my emulator. There's a G.I. Joe video game on there too. There's quite a few. They made quite a few G.I. Joe games. They did make like 2 or 3 on NES, I believe. I know they did more than one.
Now this comment hurt my heart to read it. Yeah, you were the psychopath who drove, and he was the idiot that paid $100 for a He-Man and Skeletor on eBay. Yeah, those became pretty available pretty quick. But on the early days, there was a lot of FOMO going around. If y'all don't know what FOMO is, that's the fear of missing out. And it drove those eBay prices up a lot. And And one thing I'm going to touch on here, because Joneser is a businessman. And so when I see an opportunity to make money, I go for it. And so when we were out and about and we found Motu, me and my wife both were like, we should buy out the pegs and keep what you want and sell the rest of them on eBay and get some money. And I was like, I can't. I wanted to because I knew there was dollars on the hook there, but I was like, then I'd be one of these, pardon my French, pieces of shit that do that, and I don't want to be that. I like money, but I also like my integrity right where the fuck it is. Again, sorry, Bill, for F-bombing on your channel, but that is so I didn't do that. And the one instance I do regret it, I walked by some of those masters of the WWE and I saw a row full of those Scareglow Undertakers. I could have bought 6 of them.
Oh man, I got
those are what, like $100 a piece right now?
I remember when I showed you these ones here. Like these ones, when they came in the store, I almost passed on them, and I am so glad that I did not, because they're the origin figures, but they're the wrestling characters, right? And these are like 2 of my favorite toys that I own because they're just so nice. It's like Jake the Snake and Mr. T, but man, they're so freaking cool because they're part of the Origins line.
I did pass on all of them, and I wish I wouldn't have, because those hit my stores first, the wrestling ones. And I was like, I'm waiting for Origins. I don't want
They did. Yeah, I remember they came, like, I don't know if it was like 4 to 6 months beforehand, because I was like you. I was in the mall. I saw them, but I didn't realize how good they actually were at the time, because I was the same mindset. Oh, I want to wait for the Origins to come in. And then I just said, oh, what the hell? I'll buy a couple. And then I opened them up. I'm like, man, these are friggin' cool.
You know, Johnny brings up a good point here. Manic Plastic Toy Shop, if this will make you feel better. If you do the math on all the fuel dollars that I spent looking for the He-Man and Skeletor I got, I probably paid the same price as you did.
Probably.
Because I filled my car up with gas a whole bunch of times. And I know that it's about $50-$60 to fill my tank. So I probably paid more than I would have been better off to go on eBay and pay the blood money.
Yeah. Yeah. I think during the 2021. Yeah. I think during the 2021, on average, every time I went out in the car, I might have found something 1 out of 10 times that I went out on average. So it's costly. It definitely cost a lot on gas.
OBS says that knowing is half the battle, and it absolutely is.
G.I. Joe, you have to finish it. Every time I say that, like I see who catches on to that.
I said it at band practice the other day as we were working on songs that we didn't know, and they were like, "How come you missed that part?" And I said, "I don't know it. Knowing's half the battle." And the guy didn't get the joke because he's half my age, but
yeah,
it's funny. Watch the whole cartoon series on Marathon. They play them on YouTube. Yeah, they do.
They do.
Motu, Thundercats. I mean, me and Lyric are watching the retro Ninja Turtles. They've got every episode in order, in the proper order. One thing I'm going to go on a little tangent about those Ninja Turtle episodes. If you went and bought the DVDs years ago, they had the episode order all jumbled.
It was.
It didn't make sense to watch it disc by disc. You almost had to do some homework and figure out what disc to put on when and where. If you had that John Wesley Ship Flash series on DVD, that had the same problem. They had the episodes out of order.
Yeah,
it's irritating for people like me who want to marathon watch something. You're breaking my immersion.
You want to watch from the first,
right, in order.
Right.
And he's the same way. Couldn't do that to people. Yeah, exactly. It was a moral decision, and it's one that I stuck my ground, and I didn't give into that. But I was that asshole that showed up at 8 a.m. when the store opened, and was right there first in the morning to get mine. But when I found, I took what I needed for me and I walked. And when I first started, I was buying doubles, one to keep in box and one to open. I gave that up right away. So I've only got the first wave in doubles in the box, and every wave subsequent, I didn't do that.
It's funny you say that, because I did it all the way up to wave 3 and then I stopped. So I did the same idea. I grabbed doubles while I could.
Yeah, I bet they do. And that's just the thing with business. It's supply and demand. If you can't get the item, then you got to pay to get it, and you got to pay the get it price. not the have it price, the get it price. And that's different. I do shows where I sell comic books, and a lot of times, you know, like the guy beat me up about my price. He'd be like, $10 for this comic book. And I'm like, well, can you find someone that's got it cheaper somewhere? And he'll go up on eBay and he'll be like, look, kid, this one's freaking $8.50 on eBay. And I says, yeah, with $8 shipping. So that's $16 for you to get that off of eBay. That's actually probably almost $20 by the time taxes are all figured in and all that. So you can go buy the eBay one right there and pay your 19 whatever or your $20, or you can get this one for $10.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I'd be overpaying buying it from you. And I said, how so? He said, well, you're not supposed to charge the shipping. And I says, what are you talking about? I can charge whatever price I want to charge for. It's my comic book.
Right.
If you can find one for less than $10 somewhere, be my guest. Or if you want to shoot me an offer, you didn't even say I'll pay $8. I might have took that. Okay, I'll work with you for $8. Or hey, buy 3 more of them and I'll give you 25% off all of them. Like, I'll work with people, but don't sit here and come up and be all like, you're too expensive, and then show me one that's worth twice as much. And say, you know, and then be like, you know, you're too expensive. And mine's half off. What are you talking about? You know? That one's in New York. I'm right here. Yeah, cool. Watch them as a kid back the day. I have to remember bury them. Absolutely. Well, we're gonna take our final commercial break here, and then we are going to get into our poll question. We sent a poll out on Weird Fantastic Toy Adventures, and the question was, if money was not an object and you could have anything you wanted off Big Bad Toy Store's website, what would you buy? You know, and remember, you just became a Rockefeller, you just became Donald Trump, you just became somebody that's got where you don't even look at the price tags of stuff anymore. You're just buying what you want now. So you guys in the chat, ponder that. Adam will give his answer. I will give mine, and we will look at the poll. So after these messages, we'll be right back.
We'll return after these messages.
Coming from the farthest reaches of the universe to challenge the worst villains on Earth are the most powerful heroes ever in the Battle of the Superpowers Collection. Impossible. The Hall of Justice under attack. Batman behind bars. New from Kenner's Superpowers Collection. Hall of Justice playset. Some assembly required. Vehicles and figures sold separately.
Use the trapdoor, Batman!
Brainiac's taken over the computer. Joker in the elevator. Evil forces joining for a final assault. Who can restore order?
Superman!
Can Superman save the Hall of Justice? You decide.
Land Shark.
The mighty Land Shark will have Mechanic for lunch. Yikes! And He-Man for dessert.
Land Shark vehicle, Skeletor, Mechanic, and He-Man figures each sold separately.
Help!
Land Shark. Land Shark.
Help! He-Man!
Land Shark. Land Shark.
Ever a lockjaw? Land Shark?
Land Shark.
Land Shark vehicle, new from the Masters of the Universe collection, not for use with some figures. Action figures each sold separately. From Mattel. Secret Wars.
Marvel supervillains are coming.
Secret Wars.
Can the Marvel superheroes stop them?
Marvel supervillains and superheroes figures each sold separately. Here, Doctor Doom and the Doom Platoon, Magneto, Dr. Octopus. There, Captain America and the Champions of Freedom, Spider-Man and Wolverine.
Secret Wars. The secret's out.
Dr. Doom and Spider-Man from the Marvel Secret Wars collection. Other figures each sold separately. From Mattel.
New Mr. T, breakfast cereal. The cereal with a dynamite taste presents Mr. T, talk number 1.
Hello, Mr. T here, and today I'm talking school. Getting an education. You just gotta have it, kids. So study hard, listen to the teachers, and learn something new every day. You'll be a better person. And remember, do the best you can every day.
Mr. T, the delicious, crispy sweet corn and oat cereal, part of a good breakfast.
But remember, you need the whole breakfast to do your best every day.
They strike like lightning across the globe. A Cobra force more powerful than ever before, destroying everything in their path to get the raw materials they need to construct the ultimate weapon and rule the world. But standing in their way, the greatest fighting force ever assembled. Bigger, tougher, determined than ever to crush Cobra with awesome new combat divisions. G.I. Joe Battle Corps. We're gonna knock you cold. G.I. Joe Ninja Force. You'll be seeing stars. G.I. Joe Mega Marines. This fight's really getting ugly. And G.I. Joe Star Brigade. We gotta stop meeting like this. The lines are drawn and the forces of good and evil dig in for battle. And this time, the battle's bigger than ever. G.I. Joe! American hero! Catch all the explosive action in Marvel Comics!
The Transformers, more than meets the eye. Autobots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons. Transformers, more than meets the eye. The Transformers, robots in disguise.
Attack the Autobot commander! Call in a Decepticon leader!
Transformers, more than meets the eye.
The Transformers from Hasbro.
To stop the evil Doomsday, you need a hero who's more than a man. Superman. He's been called the greatest, the strongest, the first among heroes. Superman. High-voltage villain Conduit is powered by kryptonite. But with Krypton cannon blasting, Laser Superman powers him down. Conduit will learn... Don't mess with the S. Superman. It's the dreaded Doomsday, the most fearsome force in the universe. Even Doomsday will learn. You don't mess with the S. Superman figures each sold separately. Blocks not included.
For the thrilling Dungeons and Dragons.
Look out!
Right after Saturday's Super K.
Oh, isn't that cute?
Oh, we got the grindhead in the house. Hey, you did miss a lot. In case you haven't noticed, I'm not Bill. And Bill let me be the substitute teacher today. And I am doing my best to keep his watch hours up and to run a late night program to the best of my ability. We're at the portion of the show where we're asking the $1 million question. If money was not an object, what would you purchase at Big Bad Toy Store? And we put the poll out. So let me see if I can pull that up here. On Bill's channel, we put this out a couple days in advance. And, okay, this is what we got from the world of YouTube. I couldn't give people the option to write their own answer in. So I gave 5 options. We could do overpriced statues, which 0%. So nobody wanted to do that. Buy an entire action figure line got 21% of the vote, which that is not a bad option. You buy an entire action figure line with your money. That wouldn't be bad. A giant play set got 7% of the vote, which it's not a bad option either. Those play sets can be expensive. And a lot of times, because money is an option, people decide not to do the play set because they can't afford it. So this would be a good way to get it in my imaginary Make-A-Wish scenario where you're suddenly rich. And this is the one I figured would win, and this is the one I voted for. Something I wanted but could never afford was the winner with 64% of the vote. So that's what I thought most people would do.
That's
And
the one I voted on, yeah.
Whatever is the most expensive. And I think that's not a bad option either if you're an opportunist and you just want to get the most expensive thing and then run over to your evil bay and resell it and you go home and count your illicit goods. But the problem with that scenario is you already have money is not an issue. So there's really no reason for you to do that. So we discussed this a little bit, Adam, before. What did you come up with here? What was your answer?
The $700 Voltron playset.
That is right. Okay, let me get our share screen back up here. I lost it.
All right, and the reason, and it's not because of the cost. The reason why I want it is because I've never owned, even since a kid, a full 5 lion set of Voltron. I've only ever had one at a time. So that's why I want it. And to me, the one that you're about to show is the ultimate friggin' Voltron playset to me.
Well, this is Adams. Oh yeah. So we've got a $699.99 price tag on this baby. This bugger is in stock. You can get him in even a substandard packaging grade and save $4 whole dollars. Which to me, if you're going to spend $700, I think $4 whole dollars is the least of your worries at this point. But that would be my opinion here. But I remember when we scouted this out now, and this thing is pretty cute. I have to say, it almost made me change my my choice because I was like, man, his choice is better than mine. Like that thing is awesome.
It is fantastic. And I think I don't know if it's die cast. I'm not sure. I mean, it must be die cast. I'm not sure though. It looks
Johnny's
like it
saying
is.
Jim would buy all the damn statues, and Grindhead wants me to send him the link, and I am going to do as such. So give me a second here, Jim, and we will bring you on.
Yeah.
I would love to hear what the fabulous Grindhead thinks of my hypothetical scenario. Hold a second here. Adam, carry on about that Voltron while I'm trying to do this.
Oh yeah, sure. It's a pretty cool set. Now I was saying I don't know if it's die cast or not, but I think it is. It looks metal, so I don't know. I'd have to actually go on there and look at it. But man,
Well, we'll
all
read
the
that right
accessories and
now.
stuff.
Made of
Yeah.
die cast and plastic.
Okay, so it's
we have both.
So it's partial.
Based on the Voltron Defender of the Universe TV series, combined with 5 lines to create Voltron. Fully articulated, features LED light up lights, displays as 5 different lions or the combined Voltron.
Right.
Yeah, you get a lot of bang for your buck here with this thing.
You do.
You get all the lions, you get the minifigures, their weapons, the laser cannons and shooting stars. So let's get back to the cool part of this and look at some slides or some pictures. Let me see if I could bring this to full screen. I absolutely can. So I have to say this thing is gorgeous. Very, very cool. So, oh yeah. Yeah. And see, as a kid, I never had Voltron. I think I had like one lion that we found at like a secondhand store.
Right.
And you know, of course, I was probably that like Eric Cartman, like I got the blue Mega Man, and then I want to get the red Mega Man and the yellow Mega Man. I can make Ultra Mega Man, you know. And my mom didn't care. She's like, "You have enough toys."
Yeah,
that was basically it. That argument. Yeah, that's an amazing picture of this guy.
That is cool.
Yeah, look at this thing.
It's beautiful.
That is cool. Okay. Well, hold on here. We have got the Grindhead here. And being that he loves it so much when Bill does this, it would only be fitting if I did it too. Sorry about that, Jim, but I got to do my due diligence there. I am a custodian of the brand tonight, so I have to do Bill proud. Speaking of brand, I'm going to take these overlays off that are kind of in the way here. There we go. That's a little better. And welcome to the stream, sir.
Thank you. I also want to say for Bill, when he watches after, this is the live premiere of my shelves being fully built.
Oh, well, hold on here. We got to get that up there.
My patrons, my patrons have seen this, and this is still, it's an evolving thing. So I have like stacks, like I have whole shelves full of just front to back toys right now. So I haven't like decided what toys belong where, and I want to recreate this shelving with boxed toys so I have something for the show. And then eventually, over time, get the unboxed, loose figures where they're supposed to be. So this is totally like temporary, but the shelves themselves, all done, crazy, ready to go. I just want to make it better. So if you look behind me, just above my head, there's a Toy Biz Galactus, a
I sees
Mezco
that.
Spider-Man, and way behind them,
I can't seize that.
not counting the Japanese Spider Godzilla thing, just right there is a Crystal Castle from She-Ra. That's
Oh.
complete. I just haven't rebuilt it yet. I have all the parts just sitting
You
in
have
it.
all the
And
parts,
then-
the OG vintage Crystal Castle.
Yep. And I have an
Adam's
Iwo
really a
Jima
big
display
She-Ra fan.
from Jesse, the Epic Badger, and then 2 Napalm Death figures there. And there's the Flash 89 Batmobile there with 89 Batman. Like, I got stuff all over the place. Like that shelf's a motherfucker. It's crazy.
And I see you got the little grumpy bear there behind your head, though. That's got to be there.
Where's he at? Oh,
The grumpy bear.
yeah.
He's right there behind your head.
They were above before, so I got Grumpy, I got Cheer Bear, and Tenderheart. I got to get one more, and I'm happy.
Well,
Yeah.
Jim, do you have a selection for our hypothetical question here? If money was no object, hold on. We'll finish up with Adam here, and
please do.
Then
Please, I'll shut up.
We'll get to you.
All right, cool.
But this Voltron really is pretty freaking cool. I mean,
It is.
It is.
Yeah, this
the ultimate set to me.
Where's the playset part of it, though?
Does Voltron have a playset, or did the original have one? Did he have like a layer?
I don't remember. The only
I
thing
wasn't a
remember
huge fan, so I couldn't tell you.
Palisades did a playset of the castle, right? But the only reason I'm saying this is because Adam said Voltron playset. I'm like, where's the playset part? This as a Voltron, freaking amazing. No shade, no BS, but where's the backdrop? Where's the area he's supposed to play in? That's my question.
Oh, I understand. So they just did the black background. They could have done a little something to. I don't know. These pictures kind of pop to me. Kind of, if I had
Hey, no BS. If I had $700, I'd buy him in a heartbeat. No question. I had not to take away from Adam. I love you, Adam. Been a long time since I talked to you on stream. I'm glad to be here with you. But I'm going to share some stories if you're okay with it.
Go ahead.
So in '85, I got the Black Lion for my birthday. And I just played with the Black Lion and his stubby legs and everything else. And I was like, this is Voltron. Da, 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 da. And then for Christmas, so he was Matchbox, die-cast, whatever. Christmas comes. I get the rest of the Lions. And they're all plastic. So I was that kid that was a victim of, like, you got Matchbox, and then you get the Matchbox plastic because of the recall and whatever else. Dude. It was amazing to have that whole thing. And then, so it would have been, I guess, 84. But 85, 86, whenever Matchbox came out with the vehicle Voltron, I got him all in one gift swoop, if you will. And I feel like both of those Voltrons were equally valid. And I miss both of them in the collection for sure. And Voltron has always had a big place in my heart, big place in what I feel nostalgia for, and anyone wanting a Voltron, I'm like, dude, get a Voltron. Like, get yourself a Voltron. And I do want some representative of both versions, Vehicle Voltron and Lion Voltron, in my collection, even if they're just this tall. But even when they're this tall, they're crazy expensive.
Right.
Who the hell is licensing this? This is crazy.
Right.
It's crazy.
Well, and that's kind of why we got to this topic, was if money wasn't an issue, because obviously money in the real world is always going to be an issue. But So yeah, Adam, you made me want to change my choice because my choice is $500 less, but um, I'm gonna keep going through these slides here, Adam, and you just speak your mind or what you're thinking here.
I just always wanted one because, like I said, I only ever had one lion when I was growing up, and I think it was Hunk. He's the only one I ever had.
Now, which
And I
one
always
is Hunk?
the yellow one, the yellow lion.
One. Okay.
Yep.
See, I wasn't a huge fan, and so I'm not very knowledgeable on the subject. I might have seen the cartoon twice in my life.
I loved it.
There was a kid in my neighborhood that had the whole set, and he was popular.
Yeah, next to Astro Boy, I think it was the first original anime cartoon shows that I've ever seen next to Astro Boy. So,
okay,
because it is Japanese cartoon and based off basically what was the Go Lion, which is the Japanese, which was Japanese cartoons. So they had to westernize it, and that's where we got Voltron.
So like Jim, this hits you right in the nostalgia feels.
Oh yeah, I love it, and to have that remake that set where they're jumping out on the screen like that, as if they were going to go form the lion. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's an iconic moment in the show where they all jump together and then they go Power Rangers and form into the Mega.
And that
Megazord.
Platform alone kind of informs where's the playset value, where it has these mounts where you can kind of make it do a certain thing, whereas without that, you don't have that option.
Right. And I'm going to go on a little tangent here, and then I'm going to give the floor back to Adam again. But I didn't watch a lot of Voltron, but I did see a lot of the Power Rangers, and not because I was a fan of it. I was already in high school, but there were some friends of mine that were watching it. And the first thing I did to pick on them or to cause them miseries, I said, "Oh, this freaking washed up Voltron wannabe bull crap. This ain't even cool."
And what's funny is I said the exact same thing, and here I was watching the freaking show and end up loving the first two seasons. Power Rangers.
One thing I gotta say about the Power Rangers, if you listen to that song more than 2 or 3 times,
man, I love that theme song.
It's in your head. You're done. And it's the same guy that did composed the music on the Masters of the Universe. A lot of people don't know that. That's the same musical composer.
I didn't realize that.
That's the same musical composer. So you got your childhood.
That's the thing. I think people confuse composition with, choice of instrument. And if you listen to melody, right, sometimes you can tell a composer by melody alone. But because Master of the Universe is much more symphonic, whereas Power Rangers is more like electric, I feel like that's probably why so few people recognize that. The same is true for movie scores too, where Danny Elfman does so many scores, and maybe half of them you recognize he's doing it. Other times it's like, oh yeah, it's Danny Elfman's score, but it's just instrumentation. But I will say that the Power Rangers to He-Man Masters Universe, that's a big jump.
Yes.
Instrumentation wise, huge. But it was crazy. And at the time, being really and still very much into heavy metal and the lift guitar and everything else, it spoke to me. I was like, okay, this is a kaiju show with Super Sentai, and they got electric guitar in the freaking thing. I should have watched it at least twice. Meanwhile, that translated to 20 times. But I maintain I hate that show. They're a ripoff of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They're just using the terminology to try to rip off stuff. And I'm collecting them now because whether I like it or not, they're an influence on everything I've done. And it's a great show. It's a Japanese show. It's cool. It's weird that 20 years on, you're like, this makes sense to me pop culturally. And now I'm going to have those, characters in my collection. And I don't know. It's kind of crazy because that for many of us at our age, that was the show that said, okay, I'm done. okay, I'm past this. I'm done collecting toys, or I'm done watching cartoons, or whatever the hell.
I went
Even
through
though-
that phase, but then I fell back into it once I got out of my 20s and I stopped giving a crap about if people thought I was cool or not. And I went right back to who I was, and some people thought it was a midlife crisis for me to go back into toys because I quit drinking and I quit hanging out with dumb people and doing dumb things. I quit playing music. I literally walked away from my whole life, which I know that kind of might mirror your story a little bit, Grindhead. But getting back to this Voltron here, Adam, this thing gives us a lot of bang for its buck. It's got this little Black Lion rotary cannon on the right. And on the left, it's got the LED lights. It's got the blades coming out of the mouth. I mean, you really got a lot of features on this thing.
I'm wondering what parts are actually die cast. I'm not sure if it's just the weapons or if it's part of the actual lions.
It said plastic and die cast. I guess the only way to know is to get you $700 out and go buy this thing, and then
to find out which is the actual metal pieces.
And that's why this hypothetical was fun, because now we are getting into choices that we could never make.
Yeah.
If I spent $700 on this thing, I'd be spending another $700 retaining a lawyer for my upcoming divorce.
You would. You and me both.
But yeah, this thing is pretty cool. We are getting a little running up on time here, so I'm going to move on to Jim here so I could squeeze myself in, and then we're going to end the show. Jim, do you know what you would buy? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I do. I can. And I'm going to be that guy. And I'm going to destroy the format of the show, and I apologize.
That's fine.
Two things. One, I would take the money and go buy a second-hand Eternia, because I missed out on Eternia, from Motu Origins.
So you would close out of Big Bad Toy Store. You wouldn't buy shit on here because money is not an object, and you would go buy what you really wanted somewhere else.
Yeah. Not because Big Bad is something I wouldn't buy from. Right. But we're talking about most wanted things when money is not an object. Right. It's Motu Origins Eternia and a third-party Unicron. Those are the two things. That's all I want. Money-wise, when it comes to big ticket, and I've done the search. You can't find them. They're not there. There's a ton of stuff on Big Bad that I would love to have. Sure. Absolutely. But if I really had that kind of money, I wouldn't buy a Big Bad. And that's somebody who features Big Bad every week for an hour and a half every week.
Yeah, you do just, religiously.
Those are particular items they don't offer. I wish they did. I wish they had that kind of scope. They don't. Sure. And it's okay.
And I can respect your choice there, Jim, because I think that's, if I was to break the format, that's probably what I would do. A vintage Eternia is not something that's on my radar because it's not in my
price either.
Range. And I even passed on the Origins one because even that $500 for that one, I was like, it may be my only chance, and I still can't do it.
I'll put it this way. With the Origins Eternia, I'm still thinking about it. I'm not BSing anybody, and it's an insane amount of money, but it's like,
well, what do you think it would be on the secondary market now?
I know for a fact. I just looked the other day. It's about $1,300 to $1,500.
Yeah, and see, for that reason alone, I'd hate to say it because I just did my anti-scalping speech, but I'd hate to say it. For that reason alone, I should have got one, and if I didn't want to keep it, I could have tripled up and ran away from it.
And I will say this here definitively: if I haven't made it clear in my other shows, if I could have made it work financially at the time, I would have bought one. No question.
I hate to cut you off here, but I mulled it over with the wife, and the wife was immediately like, "No, come on, you already look like a toy shop downstairs, anyways. What are you doing?" And then right after the window for the King Grayskull early bird thing ended, she called me at work the next day and said, look, if it's really in your heart to get this thing, go ahead and get it. And I was like, I wish you would have said that last night, because that was the last chance.
Yeah,
and she
but
was,
the
"Look,
King
you can't
Grayskull
order
is
it
not
now."
that big
And I'm
of a
like, well,
deal.
yeah, but now I
Like,
won't
just
get
go
all the
get-
stuff that comes with it.
Just get it. Just get it.
Well, I
At that
didn't.
point.
I didn't.
And I understand that. I understand that.
Now the one I picked here was a little more practical. It's got a $195 price point. So I could technically afford this. I've spent
and
this
still
much money
technically
on it.
could get it because it's pre-order.
Yeah. And I
Right.
might still. The thing that's making me, because I was about to do it, and the thing that's making me not want to get it now is I missed the boat on this prune face here. Pre-order sold out. And so now I wouldn't have the prune face to go with it. And so now I'm kind of like, well, no, I don't even know if I want it. But I'll just want to roll through a couple slides of this thing before we button up here, because this thing is beautiful and I really wanted it. Flat top Jones, come on, from one Jones to another. This guy's my guy, dude. I mean, when I was a kid, I think I was in 4th grade or 5th grade, the Dick Tracy movie came out, and I was so into this flat top that when my mom took me to the barber, I asked if they could give me a haircut like flat top, and my mom found a picture of them in Time magazine, and they laughed themselves silly and said, "You do not want your hair like that. We can't do that anyway. You have to have a flat head to have it." You know, but that's how much Dick Tracy was in my mind. But I mean, look at this thing.
Yeah, I remember like going to Dick Tracy in the theater solely on the shoulders of it being the same composer as Batman '89. So Danny Elfman, and
Right.
It was a fun ride. It was a cool thing, and
the original twist ending. I don't care who you are. You did not see that fucking ending coming. Oops.
No.
Dang, Bill. Sorry.
No.
That's my second F-bomb on this show. But yeah, you did not see that ending coming.
No, it was good, and they did it right, for what it was. And Warren Beatty, for all of his dickish whatever, he still owns the rights to Dick Tracy. By the way,
he appears on some web show every once in a while to keep those going. He has some shady business going where he keeps even in his 80s, he shows up in the yellow trench coat and the hat. And
honestly, I think the way to do this, like maybe I'm that guy, but maybe the way to do this is just get the right actors and then just digitally make the faces what they're supposed to be.
It would be amazing to see what they could do with modern technology, because that was all plastics and molds and makeup.
And it was crazy.
Thought it looked great. I thought
what
it looked
was weird about that was that you got rid of most of the marquee characters in like the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, that bothered me because I was a big fan of the Brow, and I was like, yeah, he got mowed out right away.
So
yeah, look at all the stuff this thing comes with. I mean, you get 3 heads, all these hands, a stand, the coat,
the overcoat,
the suit,
nice touch.
All these
Tommy gun,
like it's,
and then even for Tracy, 3 heads.
Is what $200, $300?
It was $195, and again, I still might fucking do it.
Dude,
all
for all that, that's not a bad cut for Mezco. That's
not.
Really that's a legit price.
But then what am I going to sell out for that prune face on the secondary market? It's going to be the real.
Is it
real bugger?
Have prune face versus having Dick Tracy and flat top? I mean,
right. Well, no, I would want prune face too, and I'm thinking they'll probably come out with more characters, and I'm going to want them, and I'm always going to look at that prune face, going, I'm missing one.
Yeah.
Okay. Hashtags, things Star Wars collectors never say. I would want that prune face.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's a joke, Tony.
Well, folks, we got to button down this stream here. So I'm going to go around the panel here real quick. And then I got to keep it to midnight here. Sorry, man, friend. You kind of came late to the party. But we were happy to have you.
Good.
You know. I forgot. Oh, well, I ran out of time anyway, so forget it. So anyways, I'd like to thank our panel and our guests here. We'll start with Jim. Give us any plugs or whatever you want to do.
Hey, if you ever want to see what I'm doing, just look up at grindand_Jim on YouTube. I'm there, and I'm on all the socials. We'll see you every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
All right, Adam?
Yep, same idea. We'll see you guys every Wednesday nights where I do the live unboxings and we do a lot of artwork and stuff. So a lot of that stuff's going to be coming up. And yeah, that's pretty much what's going on over here on my side.
Well, here on the Joneser Show, we're just getting back into the rhythm. I've got some new technology. I've got my computer and all my stuff, and I'm trying to figure out the video editing software and trying to get away from my phone. I'm trying to figure out how to do live streams. So this Bill giving me this opportunity to practice here has been tremendous, and I've got some show ideas for myself. And you got, hold on. I can't end
Surprise,
now.
Bill.
And in now.
Can y'all hear me?
I hear you, sir. How are we doing?
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Doing all right. Let's see. Here we go.
There we go. Extreme close-up, man. Whoa!
Yeah.
Paula's here.
Hey.
We're packing up and getting ready to hit the road home. So it's going to be a long slog.
Hey, Bill.
Sometime tomorrow. Hey.
How was the event? How'd it go?
It went great. She's married, so she's legit now.
There we go.
They're doing whatever they do on the honey. I don't know that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I got a daughter too. I don't want to hear it either.
Right. Hey, listen, I'm going to plug this real quick.
Sure.
I think I told you about it, Jones, or we were talking.
Well, Bill, it's technically your channel. You can do
West Virginia to get over here. Over in Western West Virginia, there is a very interesting place. It's no longer in operation, but you can visit it, and it's called the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum.
That's where you're from, right, Bill?
The place is haunted, okay? We went there, and we went on the paranormal tour. I've got pictures. I couldn't make videos in there. So, but I took pictures all over the place, and I took a few videos on the outside. But I'm going to make a video about Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum and its activities and what we experienced on the tour.
Cool.
Very cool.
Awesome.
But anyway. It's been quite a trip, and we're getting ready to go home. Matter of fact, I just woke up and I turned on the thing to see if y'all were still on. So
you're going to make the drive tonight?
Yeah, we're going to start right now, and that means that we might get in tomorrow afternoon.
Okay.
This afternoon, rather.
I'll be honest with you, Bill. I don't think I'm going to do a Sunday show. We've got some plans with the family.
That's fine.
Bill. Bill, if you need something, let me know.
But if you would like to do a later Sunday show when you get back and settled,
whatever time you think you can put it on then. And if I'm back then, I might pop in for it too.
Well, I would do it if you wanted to do it. If you're okay with it, I was going to not do it.
And look, I've given you the power to do this while I'm out.
Dude, I appreciate you.
You've got discretionary. You got the discretion, man.
I hope we did you proud. I hope you watch this back and you like what we did here. Adam and I tried to fill some big shoes.
Pride.
Yep.
I am beside myself with pride. You guys have done wonderful. Now, Grindhead Jim, did you have anything to say? You're trying to say something to me.
Just that anyone I can help, I'm here. Otherwise, I got shelves now. It's cool. That's all I got.
Oh, I didn't get to see the Patreon video, but I saw that you had posted it. I will get to watch that when I get a chance to. Yeah, you got full screen there. I don't know why they did that.
So I could show you the shelves.
Oh, there we go.
That was for you, man. I already saw it.
All right, cool. But like I said, we're just getting the last little bits together. We had just woke up, And
Okay.
I looked at the time. Well, of course, I'm ahead now by an hour, but
Okay.
time I said those guys might still be on. I put it on, and you guys were looking at the Voltron. So
Well, we went a little over. I was trying to hold to the midnight cutoff, but it is what it is.
I go over all the time. Sometimes it happens. So Adam wanted Voltron.
Yep.
You wanted Dick Tracy and Flat Top. And so Jim down here, the attorney a playset that I thought that you had ordered. I thought you ordered that, Jim. I don't know why I thought in my head you had ordered that.
I wanted to, I just couldn't make it happen, and I still want it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I wanted to get it, and if the money was no object, I probably would have got it. But money wasn't.
I know that, and that's why you're so mad about it.
Well, and
I
I
was
have
mad
to
about
say
it
this:
too.
if money was no object, I think all four of us would be very in trouble.
Yeah, pretty, I mean, well, look,
we don't a warehouse full of this stuff.
We'll quote one of
yeah.
I will quote one of my childhood heroes, and that was Evel Knievel. I think it was a singer or somebody, I can't remember what his name was, had approached Evel Knievel one time. He said, "Look, man, I've made so much money that I'll never be able to spend it in my lifetime." And Evel Knievel said, "Write me a check, brother. I will show you how."
Right, exactly. There's always a way to spend your money, and I think this does. It's not about money; it's about timing, right? We're talking about anything remotely modern. It comes to timing, and had Eternia come 6 months later, no problem. Had the third party Unicrons come a year earlier, no problem, and they're still there. Like I can still get that, right?
Right.
It's just timing it to where it makes sense. Because right now, like my big expense is getting the house where it's supposed to be, and right now the quote big expense is putting the lights on all these shelves so you can see what the fuck's on them. Pardon me, fifth f bomb of the show.
Yeah, I let three of them slip tonight too.
You got. This is a late night show anyway. It's not for kids. It's for adults. Remember?
Right.
True story.
Right.
And so Paula and I got a chance to sit down and watch that completed video that you did of the unboxings, Jim. So you really enjoyed what you got there, didn't you? Well, what I didn't tell you.
Oh yeah, dude! Like I've already ordered all the replacement parts. I'm waiting on one auction for one part, which is the top part of the Ecto trap. Yeah. So you have the big piece I've already ordered. Then you have a piece on top of that enables like dropping ghosts into it.
That's supposed to be the ghost trap.
Right. And that part is the most rare part, apparently. I'm waiting on the auction. So everyone in chat, whatever God or Godzilla you pray to, please pray for me on this auction because I really want this thing at this price. And if I get that, I got the whole thing. It's restore ready, and I'll make a video and be like, I got this. It'd be cool. It'd be great. But when I got it,
some of the hardest parts to get are those little rails that go around inside of it.
Yeah, but you got the rails, and the rails aren't nuts expensive, but they're there. And you're looking at restoring a piece, right? Like you have to look.
You
at,
can
like,
get
what all the parts
replicas
cost.
of
Right.
those rails.
But
You can
everything
buy-
else, it was like not a big deal. I was totally okay with it. The containment system was like the big thing by comparison, right? And for somebody that said, "Oh shit, I can get the entire Real Ghostbusters, all the Ghostbusters for $30, and I can get the Ecto 1 for $30." Well, I just went nuts. I just bought everything that Hasbro reissued. So now I have everything. And now there's this part of my brain that's going, I complete the firehouse. Now I can get old school. like the granny and the cop and all these other ghosts and shit. You just set me off on a thing. I'm not mad about it. It's so cool, dude.
Well, what did the crack guy say? The first one's free, but after that,
that's how it goes with vintage, bro. Like, totally. But it's so solid. Like, this piece, I can just hold it with one pole and just be like, this is the playset. How many playsets do you know? You can just be like, there it is. It was so cool. Grayskull doesn't do that. Second Mountain doesn't do that. Hall of Justice doesn't do that. But the Firehouse, fuck. There it is. That's the Firehouse. Even fully assembled, you can hold it by one piece and go, bam, here's the Firehouse. It was the best thing. And it was this interesting culmination of like, yeah, I collected all the new stuff. Here's a vintage piece which reintegrates the new stuff, and it's like I could like search for this thing. Dude, it was so cool. It was the perfect gift at the perfect time. You guys surprised the shit out of me, dude. It was great.
Oh, but see, what the point I was going to make was you got 2 more boxes coming, and one of them is just as big as that Firehouse box.
What? Shit.
I can't tell you what they are.
What'd she say?
She said, I can't tell you what they are.
Yeah.
Well, that's
nice.
Paula, though, because she's holding secrets and shit. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
I see that hair flip. Yeah. Yeah, I see it.
Hey, yo.
Hello.
Well, fellas, I gotta insist. I gotta get rolling here. I got Lyric coming down
Me too.
here and bugging
No worries.
to get to me, and I gotta see a man about a horse and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, well, just it's to me and tell me when you want to start the show tomorrow, even if I'm on the road, and might even be able to make it work if I get home in time and we go ahead and leave. So, hey, thanks everybody for showing up for the show today. Good journey. I got to run, so we'll see y'all. Thanks, Grindhead Jim, for coming on. Thanks, Adam and Jordan for taking over for me today. And we'll see you all later.
For sure.
The announcers on this program are selected and paid by parties other than this station, namely the promoters of Championship Wrestling.
Special thanks to the channel supporters. Without your help, these adventures would not be possible. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed today's adventure, please hit like, subscribe, and share the video.